Welcome to a course on operating systems. So far, we have studied some of the concepts from the unit 3. So, unit 3, the title of unit 3 is deadlocks. Now, we are studying what is deadlock recovery in this video. So, the outcomes of this lecture is analyze the best recovery of the system, which is the best recovery method from the deadlock. And the second outcome is evaluate the deadlock recovery methods. What are the different deadlock recovery methods are available in the system. And coming to the topics which we are studying from this lecture is process termination and resource preemption. There are two ways to come out from the deadlock. Once the algorithm detected the deadlock, so there are several ways to come out from the deadlock. One way is you can manually come out from the deadlock, and the second way is so you can write a program or some code. Using that code, you can come out from the deadlocks. Basically, there are two ways to come out from the deadlock. One is a process termination, another one is resource preemption. So, the first issue related to the deadlock recovery is process termination. So, process termination is one of the way to come out from the deadlock. So, once the deadlock is detected with the help of deadlock detection algorithm, so we have to identify what are the processes involved in that deadlock. So, in this process termination, again there are two ways. One is terminate all the processes which are involved in the deadlock, that is abort all processes. Once you aborted all processes which are involved in the deadlock, then those processes will release the resources and you can use those resources for other processes. And second way is abort one process at a time. Once the process is aborted, that process will returns the resources to the operating system, then the operating system reclaim all returned resources to the processes, then the processes will continue their execution. Here, when the processes will claim the resources, the process will take those resources and may continue their execution. So, the first one is abort. The first way is abort all deadlock processes. This is the first way to come out from the deadlock, and second one is abort one process at a time until the deadlock cycle is eliminated. So, this is the second way. So, coming to the first way, here when we are going to select a process to abort, so we have to consider so many issues when we are trying to abort the process. So, once the process is aborted, how much cost it is creating in the operating system. So, here based on that cost, we have to incur the minimum cost in the operating system. So, the minimum cost incurring strategies are, first one, the priority of the process, and what is the priority of the process, and based on the priority of the process, you have to select to abort. And second one is how long the process has computed and how much it is already completed and what is the time required to complete its execution. And third one is resource the process has used, how many resources the process is used to complete. And if the process is using less number of resources, then we can abort that process. If the process is using more number of resources, that is also a strategy to abort the process. If the process is using more number of resources, then if you abort that process will return many number of resources. Then the operating system will reclaim all released resources and allocate those resources to the processes which are in the deadlock, then we can eliminate the deadlock cycle. And next parameter we are going to consider is, so resource process need to complete. How many resources required for that process to complete the execution. If that process required more number of resources, so you can abort that. That is another way. And next one is how many processes will need to be terminated. Okay, how many processes will need to be terminated, that is also another point. And last one is the process interactive or batch process, whether the process is interactive process or whether the process is related to the operating system process or batch process or user process. Based on that you select the process. So, these are the different ways, to choose the process to abort. That choosing may reclaim those resources, whatever the resources released by the aborted process, we will reclaim all the resources, and so it may eliminate the deadlock cycle from the system. And coming to the next method, that is resource preemption. Resource preemption is the second method to recover the system from the deadlock. In this, again we have to consider three ways are available to come out from the deadlock with the help of resource preemption. So far what we studied is, once the deadlock is detected in the system, we must follow a recovery method. There are two classification or two ways to come out from the deadlock. One is manually you come out from the deadlock with the help of some killing the processes or aborting the processes, and another one is wait for some time until the system is recovered from the deadlock. Anyway, we have two ways to come out from the deadlock. One is process termination, another one is resource preemption. In the process termination, again we have two ways to do. One is abort all processes which are involved in the deadlock. If you are aborting all the processes which are in the deadlock, then it creates a lot of problem in the system. Why? Because so even the process which is going to be finished with less time, the process is going, that such process is also going to be terminated. So it creates a lot of burden to the operating system, and every time when the deadlock is occurred, we have to restart the processes which are involved in the deadlock. That is the point we have derived from the last slide. And another point is you kill one after other until we come out from the deadlock cycle. And coming to the second method, that is resource preemption. When we are talking about this resource preemption, we have to consider 3 points. One is select the victim process. What is the process you are going to consider to remove the resources or to preempt the resources? So here again you have to consider, you have to take some parameters. First parameter is what is the priority of that process, and whether the process is batch process or is it is a daemon process or it is related to user process, and all those things we have to consider. And second way is rollback. So whenever the deadlock is detected, during the execution of every process, we will maintain the states of a process. Once the deadlock is detected, then apply the rollback. When you want to take the resources from that process, you apply the rollback option. Once you applied the rollback option, the process will going back to the previous state. So from that state, the process will continue the execution. So here with that rollback, return to some safe state and restart the process from that state. This is the actual second way to come out from the deadlock with the help of resource preemption. And third one is a starvation. Starvation is also a biggest problem in the resource preemption. Reason is some processes may always be picked as a victim. So most of the times, if the operating system, because this is a program, this program so do not have an intelligence to pick the other processes, if the operating system is picking the same process every time to come out from the deadlock or to preempt the resources, that is the problem. So that problem is called a starvation. So include a number of rollbacks in the cost factor. This is also another disadvantage with the resource preemption. So here in this resource preemption, what we are trying to do is we are trying to recover the resources from the process by force. By force, the resources are recovered from the process. Reason is, so if the process is involved in the deadlock, how the system will come out from that deadlock? You have to do either killing a process which is involved in the deadlock, or you can forcefully take the resources from that process. So, that is the actual issue we are talking. And when we are preempting the resources from the process, so whenever we have to select the process, when you are going to select the process means a victim in the sense the process which is involved in the deadlock. When we are selecting the victim, so that selection should minimize the cost. What is the cost? Means cost is a factor. So, that cost will create the minimum effect in the system, cost in the sense minimum effect in the system. And another second way is what we are trying to do is, so select a process when the process is going to be executed. For during the execution, the process will create process states. Process state means, so for every some t time, the process will save its previous status or previous state. When we are removing the resources from that process, so that process cannot continue the execution, so that you can apply a rollback operation and restart the process from that state to immediate previous state. After in that the process will wait in that state until it received the required number of resources from the system. Once it received the required number of resources from the system, then the process will continue its execution. And next, the third issue we have to consider is starvation. So, here we are selecting a victim process and we are sending some process to a rollback state, means some process to the previous state. So, every time you are selecting the same victim process, some process may always be picked as a victim, so that those processes will suffer with the starvation. So, include the number of rollback in the cost factor. So, every time you are selecting that one, so that process will every time will be rollbacked. So, these are the problems here, and I can give you one example for this. Suppose if a process is printing, so printing the information on the printer, if that process we are taking the resources from that process cannot continue the printing. So, because we stopped so we are removed the printer from that process, we are going to allocate that printer to another process. When we are allocating that printer to another process, so what we have to do is that the previous process cannot complete its execution. If the previous process cannot complete that printing process, so the printing stopped in the middle of the paper. So, what we have to do is whenever we are taking out from it, so you have to save to the previous state means probably a previous page, and you can continue the high prioritized, or you can you can take that resource and allocate that resource to another process. This is the way so to manage the deadlock in the operating system. So, finally, what we understood here is we have explained two issues. One is abort processes, another one is resource preemption to come out from the deadlock, to recover from the deadlock. And let me check whether you understood the issues or not. Here the first question is, a deadlock can be broken by. So, option A is abort one or more processes to break the circular weight, and B is abort all processes in the system, Certainly, B is not correct option. Why? Because you should not abort all processes in the system. You can abort only the processes which are involved in the deadlock, and preempt all resources from all processes. That is also not a correct option. We are not preempting all resources from all processes. Only the processes which are involved in the deadlock, those processes only involved in the deadlock recovery. So, other processes cannot involved in the deadlock. D, none of the mentioned. So, correct option is A. So, correct option is A. Coming to the second issue, so the two ways of aborting processes and eliminating the deadlocks are. What are the here two ways? Abort all deadlock processes and abort all processes. That is, second one is wrong, B is wrong, because we are talking about all processes. All processes is obviously a wrong option. So, abort all deadlocked processes, that is the correct option. Abort one process at a time until the deadlock cycle is eliminated. So, here both A and C are correct, but probably the correct answer is, the exact answer is for this question is C. Abort one process at a time until the deadlock cycle is eliminated. So, here the correct answer is C. Abort one process at a time until the deadlock cycle is eliminated. And coming to the third one, those processes should be aborted on occurrence of a deadlock, the termination of which. So, here is more time consuming, incur minimum cost. What we have seen in the lesson. Here in this lesson what we studied is, whenever we are trying to recover a system from the deadlock, we are going to take the cost factor. So, that cost factor will decide based on various parameters. The various parameters are, one is you can take the priority of the process, otherwise how many resources the process needs to complete the execution, or how many processes the process will release if the process is terminated, and so what is the remaining time to complete this execution. So, if it is completed almost the execution, then only, so if you select that process, so it creates a maximum cost. You should not select such a process. If the process completed only less time, or it completed only a less execution, if you select such a process, the cost of the execution may be minimum. So, that what is the correct answer for this is, A is more time consuming, that is wrong, and B is incurs a minimum cost. Incurs a minimum cost. C is a safety is not hampered, that is also there is no here connection with this question C, and D, all of the mentioned, correct answer is incur minimum cost. And coming to the fourth question, here the process to be aborted is chosen on the basis of the following factors. What are the factors we have to consider when we are going to select a process? So, to abort or to recover the resources or to preempt the resources. The first one is priority of the process. Yes, that is correct answer. And B, the process is interactive or batch process, whether the process is interactive process, batch process, user process, or daemon process. So, you have to select it. And next one, C, is how long the process has completed, whether the process is completed a long time or so less time, a short time, that is also a factor. So, the answer for this one is D. So, answer for this one is D, all of the mentioned. And coming to the next question, it is a fifth question. If you preempt a resource from a process, the process cannot continue with its normal execution, and it must be aborted, rollback, or terminated, queued. What is the answer? So, answer for this question is terminated. And coming to the sixth question, here if the resources are always preempted from the same process, dash can occur. If the operating system is going to select every time to recover the resources, or if the operating system is going to select a process every time to come out from the deadlock, what is the problem? The problem is starvation. Deadlock is wrong answer, and system crash, that is also a wrong answer. Aging related to CPU scheduling algorithm, so that the correct answer is starvation. And now what we studied in this session, we studied how to recover from the deadlock. So far you have studied what is a deadlock and what are the characteristics of deadlock and what is the different strategies to prevent the deadlock, that is a deadlock prevention. And next we studied the deadlock avoidance, how to avoid from the deadlock with the help of some programming concepts like a deadlock Banker's algorithm. Banker's algorithm contains two algorithms, one is a safety algorithm, another one is resource request for a process PI algorithm. After that we have studied deadlock detection. Deadlock detection is similar to Banker's algorithm, but here there is a little modification. In deadlock detection algorithm, we used only 3 data structures. In the case of Banker's algorithm, we have used 4 data structures to avoid the deadlock. So, but once the deadlock is detected, but you should apply the deadlock recovery. Deadlock recovery can be done either manually or automatically. If manually means the operator itself involve into the deadlock and itself identify the process to kill or preempt the resources. The second way is programmatical way, or automatically the operating system will come out the deadlock by applying abort process or resource preemption. Thank you.